a very famous scene in Die Hard where Bruce Willis meets Alan Rickman. And Alan Rickman attempts to convince him that he's a hostage. And it's kind of a nerve-biting, it's a nail-biting, nerve-wracking scene for the audience because, oh my God, he's going to give this guy a gun. And this was not in the movie. And one of the things that frustrated Larry Gordon, the producer, and Joel Silver and John McTiernan was that we couldn't get Bruce Willis and Alan Rickman together. You want just like a love story, a film like that is a hate story. You want them to fall in hate, but we couldn't get them to meet together because if they ever met, they would kill Bruce and then the movie would be over. So we just sort of sensed as we got into the movie, how can they meet? How can they meet? And then one day, because I was on the set at lunch, Alan Rickman started kidding around and doing like voices and things. And I said, do you do an American accent? And he said, I don't do an American accent, but I do like, a California one. And I go, hold it right there. And I went and I grabbed John McTiernan and said, listen to him, do that again. And John said, well, what's the point? I said, if he can do that voice thing, he can fool Bruce. And he said, no, Bruce has already seen him kill Mr. Takagi, the head of the corporation. And I said, have you shot that yet? And he says, no, we're shooting that tomorrow. I said, if we can arrange that Bruce does not see Alan Rickman, then the voice changing, so then we all walked over to the set, which was actually that building was a real building on the 20th Century Fox lot, and the set was really, there. We all went over to the set, and John, looked around with his viewfinder and said, you know what, if we move that table over here and give it a quarter turn, this huge thick leg can block Alan Rickman's face. So that's the way he shot that scene the next day. He said, I'm going to shoot this scene the next day. You better write that scene. So I went off to the nearest vacant office on the lot, and while they finished the work that day, I wrote the scene, brought it back at the end of the day. Everybody liked it, and then they went and shot that about a week later when it came up in the schedule. And this never would have happened, had I not been on the set.